Every year the company throws a big annual party, like big companies everywhere. Lots of free food and lots of free booze. It's a great big happy affair. They don't invite us loggers to the office for a drink. They know that'd be a mistake. They have everybody gather at the old truck shop. There ain't much there we can break. You take a bunch of ornery loggers, especially when the booze is free. They just try to outdrink one another, I guess. It sure is a sight to see. Well, they'll be arm-bending, up-ending, hand-gripping, ear-flipping, tin hats, sailing around. Well, they'll be chug-a-lugging, shoulder-slugging, joke-telling, laughing, yelling, nobody wearing a frown. They get to calculating, speculating, aggravating, agitating each other constantly. Then the shop will get to ringing, 'cause they'll all start singing, everybody in a different key. Then the boss gets to looking pretty sour pretty soon. Same thing every year. He said, you guys just make a big mess out of things. There'll be no more booze around here. But pretty soon he's laughing and joking with us all. He knows he's got a lot of good men. And as sure as another year rolls around, we're gonna have a party again. And there'll be arm-bending, up-ending, hand-gripping, ear-flipping, tin hats sailing around. They'll be chug-a-lugging, shoulder-slugging, joke-telling, laughing, yelling, nobody wearing a frown. They get to calculating, speculating, aggravating, agitating each other constantly. Then the shop will get to ringing, 'cause they'll all start singing, everybody in a different key. Different songs, too. And everybody in a different key. Everybody in a different key. Everybody in a different key. We're the Northwest unsung heroes, the backbone of this land. Where there walks a timber faller, we claim there walks a man. The rigging crew and the sawmill boys are always putting us down. But they can't log them and they can't saw them if we don't cut them down. Strong winds and widow makers, they don't bother us at all. We don't care what the weather's like, if it's winter, spring, or fall. We don't complain if the timber's small or if the ground is steep. Hard work don't scare us, we can lay right down beside it and go to sleep. Fire warden said no smoking, boys, we can't burn up the woods. My partner said try a chew of this snooze, this stuff is really good. I said, can you get used to chewing that snoot? He said, I hope to shout. I took a big old chew and it turned plumb blue and they had to pack me out. Strong winds and widow makers, they don't bother us at all. We don't care what the weather's like, if it's winter, spring, or fall. We don't complain if the timber's small or if the ground is steep. Hard work don't scare us, we can lay right down beside it and go to sleep. These saw repairs, they're getting us down, 'cause every day or two, gotta take the old saw into town and have them put on something new. We get home late a-smelling of booze every time the saw breaks down. It ain't our fault there's a bar beside every power saw shop in town. Strong winds and widow makers, they don't bother us at all. We don't care what the weather's like, if it's winter, spring, or fall. We don't complain if the timber's small or if the ground is steep. Hard work don't scare us, we can lay right down beside it and go to sleep. If you're ever in some logging town and you meet one on the street, you're gonna think there's the meanest man anybody'd want to meet. But when you really get to know one, that's when you'll understand.
Where there walks a logger, there walks a man.
I've seen two loggers stand toe-to-toe and slug it out in a free-for-all fight. And when it was over, they'd get up and shake hands and laugh and drink together the rest of that night. I've seen a logger pick up a baby bird and put it back into its nest. And I've never heard one criticizing a man when he knew he was doing his best. They're a rough, rowdy breed of people, but it's a rough life they live. And most of the time their job's demanding just a little bit more than they can give. They come home at night so doggone tired, bruised and cut and sore. Get up next morning with a big old grin and go right back out for more. To the same steep, muddy hillsides they were cussing the day before.
Where there walks a logger, there walks a man.
I think a logger loves his family just a little bit more than most men, as he knows if he makes just one mistake, he'll never get to see him again. Oh, a line could break or a tailhold slip and cut a man half in two. The dangers there lurking everywhere, and the rewards are just all too few. But it's a life he chose, and whichever way it goes, his family will understand. Because when he walks in through that door at night, they know that there walks a man. Loggers don't sit around much discussing church, religion, or prayer. But a wise man once said, if you ever get to heaven, you'll be surprised who you run into there. And when the last trumpet's been sounded, all of life's secrets unfold, we'll find more than one set of cork boot tracks on those streets that are solid gold.
Where there walks a logger,